All right, perfect fantasy for teens that has absolutely no spice. I have read so many YA fantasy romance books, and I have tons of recommendations for you, but these are some of my all-time favorites that I would definitely recommend for any teen or any adult that likes YA fantasy. We're going to have to start with The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. This is a finished trilogy. There is a spin-off duology that's also really, really good, The Dance of Thieves, but this is... basically, the main character is engaged to be married, but she has never met the man she's supposed to marry, and she decides on the eve of her wedding that she's going to denounce her rights to the throne and run away. She runs away with her maidservant and goes to live in some far-off city in her kingdom and disguised as a barmaid and wants to start her life over. Unbeknownst to her, a couple weeks later, there are a couple of young men who show up. One is an assassin sent to kill her, and one is the jilted prince. I absolutely love this series. I seriously cannot recommend it enough. It is one of my all-time favorites. The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie O is a standalone fantasy. So that's like really nice, I think, for like a teen who you're trying to get into reading so they don't have to necessarily commit to a series. This is a standalone about a girl who, to save her brother's love, sacrifices herself to the sea god to try and save her village from these horrible storms that they've been having and stuff. It's super sweet and romantic and just not necessarily what I was expecting, but I loved every minute of this book and very much recommend it. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know how obsessed I am with the Caraval world that Stephanie Garber created. But this is the Caraval series. It's complete. And the spin-off series, Once Upon a Broken Heart, is also complete. They're both perfect, no spice fantasy for teens or adults. I do prefer Caraval a little bit more than Once Upon a Broken Heart, just because Legendary is one of my all-time favorite books of all time, and Legend is like my book boyfriend. Like, oh, I'm obsessed with him. This follows two sisters who have always wanted to attend Caraval, which is sort of like a magical game that takes place at different places in different times. It's a very intriguing game, and they get pulled into it, and it's such a fun series that has sisterly bonding, romance, amazing characters, and just a really, really intriguing world. I love, like I said, I like this one a little bit more, but I love both series. I definitely recommend it. My daughter has read these and loved them, and my niece has, so it's definitely perfect for teenagers. Warrior of the Wild by Trisha Levenseller. I've read and loved everything by Trisha Levenseller and can recommend all of her books. This one is a standalone that features a girl who is sort of like in a Viking-esque type of world where she has to prove herself to her clan to like have her place, but she fails her trial and then is exiled. So, and when you're exiled, you have to live in the wilderness for a year with no clan. And she ends up meeting a couple of boys who were also exiled the year before from different clans. And it's just a really fun, quick-paced standalone that I definitely recommend to boys and girls. This one is one that I'm going to have my son read, and I think he'll love it. Finally, we're going to do Defy the Night by Bridget Kemmerer. This one is actually not complete, but Destroy the Day is the third and final book in the series, and it's coming out actually at the end of this month, so it will be out soon. This is like sort of a Robin Hood retelling, I would say, Robin Hood-esque. The main character is joined with a boy that she doesn't really know, but they're stealing medicine. They're stealing moonflowers, which they're using to create medicine to cure this sort of plague that's running rampant through the kingdom. And so it's like, like stealing from the rich to feed the poor kind of thing. And it is such a fun, well-written series, and I love the characters, and there's so much like political intrigue in this one, and there's really high stakes, and you just feel for everybody in the story, and I absolutely loved it. I read the second book, really enjoyed that, and I'm really excited to see how the story finishes. It's really good.